Hello, friends. We are reading Power of Your Subconscious Mind. The subconscious cannot reason like your conscious mind. Your subconscious mind does not have the ability to argue or dispute what it is told. If you give it wrong information, it will accept it as true. It will then work to make that information correct. It will bring your suggestion, even those that were false, to pass as conditions, experiences, and events. Everything that has happened to you happened because of thoughts impressed on your subconscious mind through belief. If you have communicated wrong or distorted concepts to your subconscious mind, it is of the most urgent importance to correct them. The sure way to do this is by repeatedly giving your subconscious mind constructive, harmonious thoughts. As these are frequently repeated, your subconscious mind accepts them. In this way, you can form new, healthier habits of thought and life, for your subconscious mind is the seat of habit. The habitual thinking of your conscious mind establishes deep grooves in your subconscious mind. If your habitual thoughts are harmonious, peaceful, and constructive, your subconscious mind will respond by creating harmony, peace, and constructive conditions. Have you fallen prey to fear, worry, and other destructive forms of thinking? The remedy is to recognize the power of your subconscious mind and decree freedom, happiness, and peaceful, perfect health. Your subconscious mind, being creative and one with your divine source, will then start to create the freedom and happiness you have earnestly decreed. The tremendous power of suggestion. As you can see by what we have already discussed, your conscious mind serves as the watchman at the gate. One of its most crucial functions is to protect the subconscious mind from false impressions. The reason that is so important goes back to one of the basic laws of mind. Your subconscious mind is very sensitive to a suggestion. As you know, your subconscious mind does not make comparisons or contrasts. It doesn't reason and think things out of itself. This latter function belongs to your conscious mind. No, your subconscious mind simply reacts to the impression given to it by your conscious mind. It does not pick and choose among different course of action, it merely takes what is given. Suggestion is tremendously powerful force. Imagine that you are on a board of a ship that is rocking a bit from side to side. You approach a timid looking fellow passenger and say, "Gee, you don't look so hot. Your face is practically green. I am afraid you are about to be seasick. Can I help you to your cabin?" The passenger turns pale. The suggestion you have just made about seasickness links up with his own fear and forebodings. She lets you escort her down below decks. Once she is there, your negative suggestion, which is she accepted, comes true. Different reactions to the same suggestion. It is important to realize that different people will react in a different way to the same suggestion. This is because they have different subconscious conditioning or beliefs. Suppose instead of choosing a fellow passenger on the ship, you go to a member of the crew. You say, "Hey, buddy, you don't look so great. Do you think you're about to be seasick?" Depending on the sailor's temperament, he either laughs at your feeble joke or tells you to get lost. Your suggestion had no power over him because the idea of seasickness was associated in his mind with his own immunity from it. Therefore, it called up not a fear or worry but self confidence. A dictionary will tell you that suggestion is the act of instance of putting something into one's mind. It is the mental process by which the thought or idea that has been suggested is entertained, accepted, or put into effect. Remember, a suggestion cannot impose itself on the subconscious mind against the will of the conscious mind. Your conscious mind has the power to reject the suggestion. The sailor had no fear of seasickness. He had convinced himself of his immunity, so the negative suggestion had no power to evoke fear. But your fellow passenger was already worried about becoming sick. Therefore, your suggestion had power over her. All of us have our own inner fears, beliefs, and opinions. These inner assumptions rule and govern our lives. A suggestion has no power in and of itself. Its power arises from the fact that you accept it mentally. Only at the point do your subconscious power begins to act according to the nature of the suggestion. How he lost his arm. For many years, I gave regular series of lectures at the London Truth Forum in Caxton Hall, which I founded a number of years ago. Dr. Evelyn Fleet, the director, told me about a man whose younger daughter suffered from both crippling rheumatoid arthritis and a disfiguring and painful skin condition called psoriasis. They tried many treatments, but nothing the doctor did seemed to help. The man was near despair. Over and over he said to himself and to his friend, I would give my right arm to see my daughter cured. According to Dr. Fleet, one of the family was out for a drive. Their car was involved in a head on collision. The father's right arm was torn off at the shoulder. When he came home from hospital, he discovered that his daughter's arthritis and skin condition has vanished. You must be very careful to give your subconscious only those suggestions that heal, bless, and elevate and inspire you all your ways. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't understand a joke, it takes you at your word. How autosuggestion banishes fear. The term autosuggestion means suggesting something definite and specific to oneself. Like any tool, wrongly used, it can cause harm, but used properly, it can be extremely helpful. Janet R. was a talented young singer. She was invited to try out for an important role in an opera production. She desperately wanted to audition, but she was also terribly apprehensive. Three times before, when she had snubbed for directors, she had failed miserably. The reason was fear of failure. She had a wonderful voice, but she had been saying to herself, when the time comes for me to sing, I sound so awful. I'll never get the role. They won't like me. They'll wonder how I have the nerve even to try out. I'll go, but I know it will be failure. Her subconscious mind accepted these negative autosuggestions as a request. It will it proceeded to manifest them and bring them into her experience. The cause was an involuntary autosuggestion. Her fears had become emotionalized and subjectified thoughts that in turn became her reality. This young singer was able to overcome the force of her negative autosuggestion. She accomplished this by countering them with positive autosuggestion. What she did was this. Three times a day she went alone in a quiet room. She sat down comfortably in an armchair, relaxed her body, and closed her eyes. She stilled her body and mind as best she could. Physical inertia favors mental passivity and renders the mind more receptive to suggestion. The counteract the fear suggestion, she repeated to herself, I sing beautifully, I am poised, serene, confident, and calm. At each sitting, she repeated this statement slowly, quietly, and with a feeling from 5 to 10 times. She had three such sittings during the day and one immediately before going to sleep. After 1 week, she was completely poised and confident. When the fateful day came, she gave a wonderful audition and was cast in the part. How she restored her memory. A woman of 75 had always been proud of her ability to remember. Like everyone, she forgot things now and then, but she paid no attention. However, as she got older, she began to notice these occasions and worry about them. Each time she forgot something, she said to herself, I must be losing my memory because of my age. As a result of this negative autosuggestion, more and more names and events slipped her mind. She was close to despair. Then, fortunately, she realizes how she was damaging herself. She resolved to reverse the process. Every time she felt the temptation to think, I'm losing my memory, she stopped herself. More than that, she deliberately reversed the procedure. Several times a day, she practiced induced positive autosuggestion. She said to herself, from today onward, my memory is improving in every way. I will always remember whatever I need to know at every moment of time and point of space. The impression I receive will be clear and definite. I will retain them automatically and easily. Whatever I want to recall will immediately present itself in correct form in my mind. I am improving rapidly every day. Very soon my memory will be better than it was even before. At the end of 3 weeks, her memory was back to normal. How he overcame a nasty temper. I was consulted by a man whose marriage and career was both in serious trouble. Huge D's problem was Hugh Deed's problem was his constant irritability and bad temper. He was concerned about this himself, but if anyone tried to discuss it with him, he exploded in anger. He constantly told himself that everyone was picking on him and that he had to defend himself against them. To counter this negative autosuggestion, I advised him to use positive autosuggestion several times a day, morning, noon, and night prior to sleep. He was on repeat to himself. From now on, I shall grow more good humored. Joy, happiness, and cheerfulness are now becoming my normal state of mind. Every day, I am becoming more and more lovable and understanding. I will be center of cheer and goodwill to all those around me, infecting them with my good spirits. This happy, joyous, and cheerful mood is now becoming my normal, natural state of mind. I am grateful. After a month, his wife and his co-workers remarked on how much easier he was to get along with. Some comments on heterosuggestion. The term heterosuggestion means suggestions from another person. In all ages and in every part of the world, the power of suggestion has played a dominant part in the life and thought of humankind. Political creed, religious beliefs, and cultural customs all flourish and perpetuate themselves through the power of heterosuggestion. Suggestion can be used as a tool to discipline and control ourselves. However, it can also be used to take control and commands over others who have not been taught to understand the laws of mind. In its constructive form, it is wonderful and magnificent. In its negative aspect, it is one of the most destructive of all the response pattern of the mind. Its results can be enduring pattern of misery, failure, suffering, sickness, and disaster. Have you accepted any of these? From the day we are born, we bombarded with negative suggestions. Not knowing how to encounter them, we unconsciously accept them and bring them into being as our experience. Here are some examples of negative suggestions. You can't. You will never amount to anything. You mustn't. You will fail. You haven't got a chance. You are all wrong. It's no use. It's not what you know, but who you know. What's the use? Nobody cares. There's no point in trying so hard. You are too old now. Things are getting worse and worse. Life is an endless grind. You just can't win. Watch out. You will catch a terrible disease. By accepting heterosuggestions of this kind, you collaborate in bringing them to pass. As a child, you were helpless when you faced with the suggestions of others who were important to you. You did not know any better. The mind, both conscious and unconscious, was a mystery you did not even wonder about. As an adult, however, you are able to make choices. You can use constructive autosuggestion, which is a reconditioning therapy to change the impression made on you in the past. The first step is to make yourself aware of the heterosuggestions that are operating on you. Unexamined, they can create behavior patterns that can cause failure in your personal and social life. Constructive autosuggestion can release you from the mass of negative verbal conditioning that might otherwise distort your life pattern, making the development of good habits difficult to even impossible. You can counteract negative suggestions. Pick up the paper or turn on the television news. Every day you hear dozens of stories that could sow the seeds of futility, fear, worry, anxiety, and impending doom. If you accept them and take them in, these thoughts of fear can cause you to lose the will for life. However, once you understand that you do not have to accept them, choices open up for you. You have within you the power to counteract all these destructive ideas by giving your subconscious mind constructive autosuggestion. Check regularly on the negative suggestions that people make to you. You do not have to be at the mercy of destructive heterosuggestion. All of us have suffered from it in our childhood, in our teens, and in adulthood. If you look back, you can easily recall how parents, friends, relatives, teachers, and associates contributed in the campaign of negative auto-suggestions. Study things said to you, closely examine their underlying meaning, and you will discover that many of them were nothing more than a form of propaganda. Its concealed purpose was and is to control you by instilling fear in you. This heterosuggestion process goes on in every home, office, factory, and club. You will find that many of the suggestions people make, whether they know it or not, are aimed at making you think, feel, and act as they want you to, in ways that are to their advantage, even if they are destructive to you. How suggestions killed a man. A distant relative of mine went to a celebrated crystal gazer in India and asked a woman to read his future. The seer told him that he had a bad heart. She predicted that he would die by the next new moon. My relative was aghast. He called up everyone in his family and told him about their prediction. He met with his lawyer to make sure his will was up to date. When I tried to talk him out of the conviction, he told me that the crystal gazer was known to have amazing occult powers. She could do great good or harm to those she dealt with. He was convinced of the truth of this. As the new moon approached, he became more and more withdrawn. A month before, this man had been happy, healthy, vigorous, and robust. Now he was invalid. On the predicted date, he suffered a fatal heart attack. He died not knowing he was the cause of his own death. How many of us have heard similar stories and shivered a little at the thought that world is full of mysterious, uncontrollable forces? Yes, the world is full of forces, but they are neither mysterious nor uncontrollable. My relative killed himself by allowing a powerful suggestion to enter into his subconscious mind. He believed in the crystal gaze's power, so he accepted her prediction completely. Let us take another look at what happened. Knowing what we do about the way subconscious mind works. Whatever the conscious reasoning mind of a person believes, the subconscious mind will accept and act upon. My relative was in a suggestible state when he went to see the fortune teller. She gave him a negative suggestion and he accepted it. He became terrified. He constantly ruminated on his conviction that he was going to die at the next new moon. He told everyone about it and he prepared for his end. It was his own fear and expectation of the end accepted as true by his subconscious mind that brought about his death. The woman who predicted his death had no more power than the stones and the sticks in the field. Her suggestion it itself had no power to create or bring about the end she suggested. If he had known the laws of his mind, he would have completely rejected the negative suggestion and refused to give her words any attention. He could have gone about the business of living with the secure knowledge that he was governed and controlled by his thoughts and feelings. The prophecy of the seer would have been like a rubber ball thrown at an armored tank. He could have easily neutralized and dissipated her suggestion with no harm to himself. Instead, through lack of awareness and knowledge, he allowed it to kill him. In themselves, the suggestions of others have no power over you. Whatever power they have, they gain because you give it to them through their own thoughts. You have to give your mental consent. You have to entertain and accept the thought. At this point, it becomes your own thought and subconscious work to bring it into experience. Remember, you have the capacity to choose. Choose life, choose love, choose health. Tomorrow we will continue. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Read along with me. Bye.